Hey, I'm Olivia,
And hey, I'm Dad.
and you're listening to Soarin' Around WDW.
Okay.
Bonjour, l'équipage de conduite. This is, of course, hello, flight crew in French. And there is your hint. Today's episode, we are finally getting into our incredible trip to France. And before I continue, I want to welcome to the show Maddie. So, welcome back to the show.
Merci.
Ooh, très bien. Très bon. Is bien French?
What did you ask me?
Très bon. I was trying to say very good.
Oh,
Yeah, that was like a theme of our French was like we knew how to say some things but not other things. Like we could say merci, but then when someone said it to us, we were like, yeah, like we don't know how to say you're welcome. I still don't know how to say you're welcome.
oh,
They don't really say it. Like
No.
nobody really said you're welcome to us.
No.
Okay, that's funny. So, yes, welcome back to the show. But first, I'm literally still getting like emotional about the sweet gift I received in the mail today. It didn't happen in time for the official shout out on the 100th episode because Dad and I record ahead, but it arrived before the episode came because we're recording ahead, and it was just the sweetest. Our friends over at Idiot's Guide sent us some Magic Candle Company candles, Orange Grove scent, and the cruise scent. And the sweetest note for our 100th episode, I think I'm just like honestly still so blown away by this little Disney community and how much these people genuinely feel like friends and would literally consider them my actual friends, even though we met on the internet. Like, what a world we live in. So, thank you so much again, idiots. Is that like insane to you, Maddie, that I've like made friends through the internet that like send me gifts and we like talk on a weekly basis pretty much?
I'm trying to think when I had my Instagram. I mean, there were accounts when I was doing my IG stuff that I was close with as well. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's abnormal at all.
Yeah, it's cool. Did you ever meet up with any of those people in person? Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah. When we were in California,
Yeah, Tony.
met up.
Was that his name?
Tony, yeah, and then Mark. Yeah, there were definitely people I met up with, and I think just because we shared very common interest, I think it makes for a lot of fun conversations.
Yeah, it does. And obviously, like you said, common interest, common ground, have a lot to talk about because you're interested in the same things. So, yeah, it was just very sweet. So, thank you so much, Idiot's Guide, and to everybody who has shown us so much support and love over the last 100 episodes. It's been really cool. You're already sniffing, and it's been about oh my gosh. Okay. So we obviously have a lot of content to get into as this was a very long trip, a total of 12 days technically, if you include the flight days. So this episode will be split into two different parts as a recap for those of you who might have missed our pre-trip episode or who have not seen my post on Instagram about this trip, or maybe you're a first-time listener. If so, welcome. But our family took a trip to France for my mom's wedding, which took place in Moulins in central France. I think that's how you say that. Before heading to the wedding, we decided to spend 5 days in Paris, 2 of those in the city of Paris and 3 at Disneyland Paris. And in our travel party, that included myself, my husband Maddie, my 2 girls, or I should say our 2 girls, Eiley and Blake, ages 7, almost 4, my cousin Latoya and her 2 girls, London, age 9, and Liv, age 8, as well, or almost 8, as well as my mom. And eventually my brother Regan and his wife Steph and baby Everly joined us on the trip as well. Also, as a reminder for everyone, Maddie has never been to Europe, so this was all very new to him, and I've only been once, but it was for a pretty good chunk of time, like 2 weeks back in 2010. So take things that we are saying with that background knowledge. We are going to just start right from the beginning of the trip and jump in with our travel day fiasco. If you are a subscriber on YouTube, you have already seen the video where I am driving to get Allie from school and explaining that we found out a few hours before we were scheduled to leave that our flight changed. So our trip began on Wednesday, June 10th, and our scheduled flight was from Raleigh-Durham over to CDG with a layover in Iceland. And that was scheduled to be only about a 55-minute layover. In the pre-trip episode, I talked about how I was super stressed about it, overwhelmed with that tiny tight layover. Well, the Lord heard me because we got this text being like, hi, your flight has been changed to a direct flight now on Air France, and it leaves 2.5 hours earlier. Maddie, you were still at work when all of this was happening. So did you see the text from Iceland Air first? Did you see my panicked phone calls and texts first? What did you see first?
And I got the text and I thought it was a spam.
Yeah, it was like weird.
Yeah.
Because it literally just said like your flight is now changed.
Yeah, I thought it was. I had a situation recently where I thought it was a spam situation. It ended up being completely true.
Yeah,
but
like a phone call that you thought was spam, but then it was real.
It ended up being actually real.
Uh-huh.
So I thought this was another. It just seemed like very ironic that,
especially earlier
on the day that we were flying, we get this message. I don't know. I'm just always like super weird about things like that. So I thought it was a complete spam thing. That's why I ended up calling you while I was at work and being like, is this real?
Yeah, especially 2.5 hours earlier and a totally different airline and direct. Like, what are the odds of that happening?
I guess I didn't realize the direct part. I just remember the time part.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. Eiley was still wrapping up her final half day of school, and now we had to be at the airport 2.5 hours earlier, and I had not showered or gotten the bags totally packed and in the car carrier yet, so we were excited that now it was a direct flight and earlier, because then we arrived quicker and would be in France about 5 hours sooner than we had originally planned. So Maddie, what were your thoughts on Air France itself?
I mean, overall, I had a good experience. I know others in the family might not have had as good of an experience as I had, but I mean, overall, I was happy with things. I was pleasantly surprised that we got meals on it. I was not original flight with Iceland Air. I was, kind of going in with, a very minimalist thought in terms of, water and that's it. So we get on this airline, and I think like an hour or so into the flight, they're bringing out, full
dinner,
full meals, and I'm sitting there like, am I gonna get charged for this? Well, everyone else is taking it, so I'm taking it. But yeah, that was a night, and they brought out a lot of stuff throughout the entirety of the trip, like a lot of
drinks a couple times.
Yeah, drinks and
the moist towelettes.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. So, I mean, experience wise, in terms of the flight crew was okay with. I didn't have any problems with. So I think,
spoiler alert, yeah, I did.
Overall, I think my experience was good, and it was super. I guess I didn't realize until we had the connecting flight just how much that just kind of like puts a pause in your momentum when you're traveling.
Yeah, direct is really nice.
And so having the direct flight over there was just super convenient,
especially overnight.
Yeah, I will say, like, give or take, like, pros and cons, like we it was nice to have the direct flight, but then we got there super early, so we had to like kill the time anyways.
Yeah.
So we had to find time to make up. So like, whatever, because our room wasn't ready for a while.
Yeah, but I'd rather spend time in Paris than on an airplane or in
I mean,
airport.
I mean, we're gonna be flying. I mean, in theory, we were flying overnight anyways.
Yeah.
Right. So like, didn't really matter too much, at least for that first day. Definitely on the way back, because on the way back you're just ready to
be home.
Yeah. So it would have been much nicer just to have a direct flight back versus the.
I disagree with you.
I did not like having a connecting flight
on the way home. Okay. Well, I really had a not great experience with Air France, because first when we got
there... The only downside I will say, I'm going to cut in.
He's not done.
I'm not done. The only downside I will say is that anyone who travels with Delta is like, we are super spoiled to get free internet access, and to not have free internet access for like 6 hours. I did not like that, because it was expensive. It was like, I don't know, like 40 or 50 euros or something.
I guess I literally never used the free internet.
Yeah, I'm always using it. So
yeah,
I didn't like that part.
Did the guy next to you who's like working on his PhD pay for the internet?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't ask him, but
okay. Maddie made a new friend.
Yeah.
So basically,
he was cool.
When we got to the airport, they were like, "Yeah, you are now all in middle seats." All 8 of you, because we got you on this flight last minute, and we were like, yo, we have little kids, like including a 3-year-old, that obviously ain't gonna work. And they were like, yeah, our policy is usually, I think they said 8 and older are able to be by themselves, but like, or maybe it was 10 and older. It must have been 10 and older, because London is 9. So they were like, we have to put the kids with an adult. So they put Eiley with Maddie, or I said, fine, Eiley can be with Maddie. I was kind. I took Blake. My mom ended up being by herself, and LaToya ended up getting to be with both of her girls, which was nice for them. But one of them would have been fine with my mom. And so we ended up basically all in like middle aisle seats. So I took the middle, Blake took the aisle, because we thought initially that there was going to be a window seat, and there wasn't. So Blake was like kind of upset initially, but then like was okay because she just loves being by the window, as everybody does. Or most, I shouldn't say everybody. Most people love the window. But when we first got on the plane, I went to sit in the seat that Blake was assigned and scoot over, and my butt got totally wet. And I was like, okay. So I called the flight attendant over and I said, hi, so sorry, this seat is wet. And he was like, oh, just use the blanket that we gave you to sleep on to like clean it up. And I was like, literally in my head, like, okay, dude, isn't that your job? But like, sure, okay. So I cleaned it up. The blanket is now wet. The seat is still damp. And I called him over again. I said, hey, okay, do you mind taking this? Can we have another blanket? And he literally just said no and walked away. And the ladies in front of me were like, did he just say no? Like, what does he expect you to do with this wet blanket? So I just shoved it under the seat and used the plastic wrap that was like covering the blanket to try to cover the seat so that Blake's butt didn't get all wet.
I didn't know about this.
And I thought about sitting on that wet seat, but I was like, I'm going to be holding this girl the whole flight. And she is going to be kicking this other lady if she's in the middle seat. So, like, she has to sit by the window. So, or by the aisle, I mean. So, we ended up, like, whatever. We made it work. The guy was super rude. I was not a fan of him. And then every time the seatbelt sign came on, you're obviously not supposed to get up. Well, I have a 3-year-old. So, she, of course, has to go potty when the seatbelt sign comes on. And she had a pull-up on, but she does not like to pee in her pull-up. It's like a just-in-case thing overnight. Obviously, we're doing an overnight flight. And so what happens? I try to get up with Blake. The flight attendant's like, nope, you have to sit down. Blake is not happy, but she did not throw like a big fit. She was just like, I have to go potty. And we had to wait. And as soon as it went off, I took her. But it was like so much on that first flight that the seatbelt sign went on. So it was very hard with a young kid. I was like, I'll take the risk. I'm her parent. We're not landing. It was not crazy turbulence, but I was like, she has to go to the bathroom. So, and there were people getting up, going to the bathroom all over the plane, but because she was a kid, they would not let me get up with her to go to the bathroom. So that was a little bit aggravating as well.
Yeah, we didn't have one potty break.
Yeah, you didn't get up at all?
Nope.
Eileen didn't go to the bathroom at all?
Nope.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So when we got up, my pants were brownish color. So I'm assuming the mystery liquid was coffee. I hope that's what it was. Or the seat was just extremely dirty when it was wet.
Or Coke.
Or Coke, I guess. Yeah, or like tea. I don't know. It was disgusting. But I had khaki sweats on. So it looked like I pooped my pants when we got to see Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was really bad. I ended up changing my pants when we got to the hotel, but anyway, it was fine. So it was nice to get the 2 meals. It was nice that it was direct. And to me, I liked having direct on the way there because thinking about getting the kids up and having to walk through an airport in the middle of the night with tired kids to get on another plane and do that all again in Charles de Gaulle with no stroller because they gate check the stroller, but it gets sent to like baggage claim. You don't get it when you get off the plane like you do in like a US flight, the international flights, unless it's like an umbrella stroller and can go above your head, they check it. So that was very annoying, and that would have been horrible to do in the middle of the night with the kids. So I don't know. I liked that part, and I did not mind the layover on the way back. I mean, it would have been great to have direct both ways, but we got the direct flight for the same price. Like, we didn't have to pay more.
Yeah.
So that was a huge benefit. So anyway, once we arrived in France, we used the service EasyGo Shuttle, which was recommended by the Dedicated to Disneyland Paris podcast. And I was kind of worried, like, how would we find them? But they called and said they were standing right there after you get your bags and explained to us where they were. They spoke English, and it was like you're heading towards the taxis or like arrivals area. What did you think about the car service this time?
Whoever that podcast is, thank you.
Yeah.
It was very good. So shout out to you.
Cool. Okay.
And subscribe to that channel.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
They were great.
I was super happy with I've had some recent bad experiences with like Uber and stuff.
Yeah, you're coming to the car service life.
Yeah, I thought like when I was in
California
back in
February,
some guy was taking me out, and I was seeing the last hours of my life. But I was super impressed with the group. So
Yeah,
I would recommend that group.
We got 2 cars and they both were standing there together because we were like kind of nervous about splitting up, but we had a car for the 4 of us and a car for the 4 of them, and they were parked right by each other. They were standing by each other. They took our bags. Like, they were happy to help, very kind. Got in the car. They had water for us. They had Coke or whatever you wanted.
That was great.
And we got stuck in a lot of traffic, but like, he just was happy to chat with us, or was also okay like not chatting, but answered a lot of questions for us about the area, how long he lived there, what we were driving past. And so that was really nice. So they were really great. I also had message saying like the day before our flight time changed, and so they were great, and they were there on time and early, actually, both times that we used them. And we did not have to pay ahead of time, so you don't have to pay anything. We paid afterwards. And we did tip them because they did help with our bags, but definitely plan for way longer than what the GPS says to get from Charles de Gaulle to wherever you're going, whether that's the city or Disneyland Paris, because the traffic was cray-cray.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it's like a major city, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It took us about an hour and a half when it had said it would take 40 minutes to get to our hotel. But I mean, we were okay. Like, the kids were chilling. Eiley got a little car sick because there were some rear-facing seats, and they also did provide car seat boosters, all that free of charge. So that was awesome. We stayed at the Hotel Maison Hamelin Paris Handwritten Collection, which is in the 16th arrondissement. I think I said that right. And they had a deal where you paid for one room and got the second room 50% off for having a larger family. It ended up being about $300 per night per room, which really was not bad for that hotel. That seems like pretty worth it to me. What did you think about the hotel?
All right. I wasn't very good at math in college, but if it's 50% off, wouldn't the one room be cheaper?
Yeah, I'm saying like together, what we ended up paying, like if you averaged the 2 rooms.
So it's 300 total?
300, no, per room per night. So like 600 per night for both rooms, though.
I see. Okay.
But $300 for that hotel is pretty dang good. Don't you think?
No.
Really?
That's very expensive. I didn't know it was that much. That's
expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Maddie, that's literally what we pay for like every hotel when we drive to Michigan and stuff.
Well, yeah, no, I would not have paid $300 for that hotel.
Really?
It was nice, but the rooms were tiny.
You're in Paris, dude.
I know, but it was tiny.
Okay.
Like 2 of those rooms I would have paid $300 for.
No, dude,
combined.
This is like Paris rooms are tiny. That's like a big room for Paris.
There was no like wiggle room in that room at all.
Oh, see, I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't know. To me, it was small.
Oh, okay. Well, you've never been to Paris before, so I'll have to show you some pictures of some other rooms, literally like a closet.
If you ever want a great hotel, Embassy Suites in Sarasota,
oh my
Florida.
gosh. Okay, we were not in Sarasota, Florida. This was a very nice hotel for this price.
It was nice. No, I'm not saying it wasn't nice. I'm just saying it was.
Okay, other than the size of the room, the hotel was clean.
It was clean. People were nice.
The people were so nice, so accommodating.
No free food though. That's.
Okay, we're in Paris. That is not a normal thing.
No, but
it's like going to New York City and being like,
where did we go that had the
Embassy Suites.
the last Embassy Suites. Yes, it did.
Oh, the place that we'll get to there. Our last hotel we stayed in.
that had free breakfast.
It did, but it wasn't
free breakfast is
as nice of a hotel.
That is a.
So you'd rather have less of a nice hotel but have free breakfast?
No.
Okay.
Because if I'm paying that much, I'd like to have the free breakfast too.
Okay. So
especially when I'm in a new country and I don't know, like, there's no Chick-fil-A's around.
There's no Chick-fil-A in Paris. That is true. So, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I thought the hotel was really nice. I was very happy with it. It was in a very safe area. I did not feel unsafe.
Yeah, no, it was definitely,
clean.
Yeah, for
modern. Sure. They did have free water and little snacks up there, but not like food.
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh, yeah, they did up on the bar. And they had a nice little sitting area that we took advantage of a few times, and you might have slept in.
I fell asleep
that first day.
I fell asleep that first
After
day.
you said, I don't need a nap, and literally you were the first person asleep before the kids.
Yeah.
You were out.
I also didn't sleep on the plane. So.
It's true. Once we dropped our bags, we walked to lunch at this little Italian restaurant and then did some sightseeing. We went to the Ladurée, famous macaron shop, and we tried vanilla coconut, caramel, rose, which legit tasted like soap. That was disgusting. And the kids got a few other ones, but did you even end up tasting any of them?
Wait, what'd you get?
The macarons.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't get one.
That's a bummer.
There wasn't a flavor that I saw that was like, oh, yeah.
Vanilla was my favorite.
I want that one.
They were good. They were good. They're expensive because that's like the fancy place to go. You could get them cheaper elsewhere, but they were good. They literally serve macarons at McDonald's there, which is wild.
Oh, yeah, I guess they do.
Yeah, they had that little like McCafe with like different
Forget
pastries.
that. There's only one thing.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, there's only one thing that you should get.
When we after that, we wandered over to the Arc de Triomphe, and I have a funny story to tell about that, but I'll save it for next week's episode with our other guest, my cousin Latoya. And there was some kind of ceremony going on with the police or like firefighters. We aren't 100% sure, but there were so many sirens this day. Like sirens everywhere.
Yeah, I think they just like to do it.
They just go whoop whoop for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. I'm like, how many
literally
people
blaring.
how many people are getting arrested over here?
It was crazy. It was not just like you're in a city, there's sirens. It was like excessive. But I think it had something to do with whatever was going on. And so we couldn't go up in the Arc and we couldn't go over close to it, which is kind of a bummer.
That was annoying.
But it was, what did you think about seeing it?
Yeah, it was a piece of brick.
All right, moving on. That's all he has to say.
It was okay. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
It would have been cool to go out, maybe like see in it and see what was on the roof area. Would have been cool.
Yeah.
But out of all the places we went to,
That was your least favorite?
we'll talk about it probably, I'm sure. But
Okay. Okay.
it's probably on my lower tier of things.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. That's understandable, especially because we didn't really get to go up to it or in it, so that's understandable. After a 2-ish hour nap for Eiley and I, we then wandered to dinner at Chez Zong, which is very close to where we are staying, and I had pinned it like weeks before the trip. It was so good. It was a bit of a learning curve because you actually order on your phone like Chick-fil-A, where you scan like the QR code that is at your table, then they bring it to that table, and you close your tab when you're done. But we got a whole spread of food: pad thai, chicken fried rice, noodles, spring rolls, pot stickers. You got a beef dish, like so much food, and we shared it all. What did you think about this place for dinner?
That place was good. Next day, my stomach had some other words to say, but
you weren't sure what that was from.
yeah, I know what it was from, but
because we had multiple things.
it was good.
Yeah, it was very good. Good finds. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Then we walked over to the Trocadero area for Maddie's first real view of the Eiffel Tower. And it was funny because earlier in the day, like from our hotel, you could see the Eiffel Tower. And you had said it looked so much smaller than you anticipated.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, just wait until we see it up close. So were you blown away by the proportion when we got to actually go to the Eiffel Tower?
It was pretty big, yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, it was bigger than I was initially anticipating it to be.
Okay, I was going to say, was it like what you expected when you finally did get there, or was it bigger than you had thought before getting to Paris?
I don't know. My only impersonation of the Eiffel Tower was from Rush Hour 2, so...
You're the most white American man. Like...
If anyone's seen Rush Hour 2, that is an amazing movie.
Oh my gosh.
Please give a comment in the... whatever you comment on.
Okay.
If you like that movie too. But it seemed like it was huge in that movie.
I mean, it is huge.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
It is huge.
It's big, yeah.
All right.
I'm not a big heights guy, so.
Yeah, Maddie really wanted to go up in the Eiffel Tower.
I wanted to go to maybe the first layer. I was thinking about, okay, maybe it'd be cool to kind of go up. Then I saw it and I was like, yeah, probably not. No.
Let's just say the last time we went to something tall and went up in it, it was a lighthouse in Savannah. And Maddie got so scared, he had to turn back around and go out. And that was about 1/20th of the first floor of the Eiffel Tower.
Well, let's see. Okay, let's put some context to this. You had to walk side to side because there wasn't really much room. Like, you could not fit 2 people.
I think that's how the steps are.
On the balcony thing.
Oh.
You couldn't walk. You had to go side to side.
Yeah.
And so you're like, and there's a guardrail up to your knees.
No, it was up to your chest.
Anyhow, you put those things together, and most people that are,
Afraid of heights.
afraid of anything are going to be afraid of that.
Okay, well, anyways, I'm glad we didn't go up because it's time-consuming, expensive, and
It's also really windy.
it was very windy. It was very windy. So we ended up just watching the Eiffel Tower sparkle at 10 across the street, like at the Trocadero, like in the grass part, like closer to the Eiffel Tower than the actual like plaza where everybody is. And that was a great spot. It was a good place to watch it. And we did really well considering this was a really long day and we just had a little nap and not very much sleep time on the plane.
Don't be fooled though. There's not an aquarium there.
No, okay, I looked it up. There definitely is an aquarium.
There is an aquarium. I take that back.
But that was, I don't know if it was closed. There's all these like food booths outside of wherever the aquarium is. Like there was pictures of jellyfish. I looked this up online.
Where's the aquarium?
I think it must be closed.
Where? But
Like
where?
under. You go like underground.
Okay.
Behind the food booths.
I'm like, where is this thing?
I know, it was really weird. It was very confusing. But when we woke up the next morning, we went to the cutest little boulangerie called Boulangerie Bonon, and they had delicious pastries. Did you get anything there? Or we ate breakfast the next morning?
No.
Okay, they were really good. The best of the trip, in my opinion. And afterwards, we headed back down to the Eiffel Tower to get some pictures on the Rue de l'Université, which is a top-notch photo spot, by the way, before heading back to catch a bus to Luxembourg Gardens. Now, I was literally having a panic attack trying to figure out the bus app and the system, but just so everyone else knows, you each have to have your own app and bus pass or metro pass for the system that you can load with money, and the kids have to have one, like a physical card. And kids under 4 ride for free. Kids age 4 to 9 have a 50% discount, and 10 and older pay the full adult fare. But what did you think of the bus?
Thought it was a bus.
I mean, it was clean.
Yeah.
It was not sketchy. Like, it didn't feel like our buses here in North Carolina.
Yeah, I will say, if you don't get on that bus, they will close the door on you.
Here? Yeah. He was like about to drive off without you on the bus.
There were a couple times when I was gonna like hold the door. I was like, oh, that person's, oh no. Yep. All right. Well, they're gonna have to wait for the next one.
Yeah. They don't play on the bus.
Nope.
But the guy was very kind and like helped me figure out what to do. And I'm pretty sure we ended up on that trip only officially paying for one person because it was just like not working. But it was, yeah, he was very nice. And it was easier than the metro because number one, the stairs in the metro with a stroller I've heard is a no-no. Like unless you have an umbrella stroller, forget it. And number two, the metro is like pickpocketing central. So I was really hesitant to take the kids in the metro. It's just not something I wanted to deal with. And so we did not, which was great. The bus was great. Luxembourg Gardens I will save for my talk with LaToya just for time's sake, but tell us your overall thoughts on that area of Paris. Did it surprise you to have something like that in the middle of the city?
Yeah, no, it was unique. It was pretty, but I wish you could have been able to access the actual like living space. It would have been really cool to be able to like walk through it versus just seeing like the outer shell of the building.
It reminded me of like a Biltmore Central Parky.
Yeah, it would have been really cool to see the insides of it, but yeah, I mean, it was got to see did we, and now I'm thinking about it, did we ever get to see the
other Statue of Liberty? We did on the boat, but you weren't paying attention.
Where was it?
I kept saying, there it is, Maddie, there it is. And you were like, huh? And Allie's like, Daddy, the Statue of Liberty. It was like closer to the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, you weren't paying attention. But there is a Statue of Liberty within the Luxembourg Gardens.
Dang.
So we did see that. You'll see that in the vlog if you haven't watched it yet. But we ate lunch at McDonald's, which was an experience and took a long time, but was good to have like familiar food for the kids. And it was inexpensive, easy, quick lunch. Or I guess not quick, but easy lunch. And not at this McDonald's, but later in the trip, what was one of your favorite foods in France?
Kit Kat McFlurry.
Dude, good.
McDonald's, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not.
Sponsored.
If you are, sponsored by.
Should be.
Get it here, okay? You guys are missing out.
Yeah.
Forget the M&M's thing. Ooh. That's bad. Get the Kit Kat.
No.
Yes.
I love M&M McFlurries.
M&M McFlurries are 1 out of 10. Get the Kit Kat ones. You will love it.
And this is a dude that doesn't eat at McDonald's like ever and does not eat ice cream often.
Yeah, no, that thing was fantastic.
Did you get your own?
I think it was also because like I hadn't had really anything for like I don't think I had eaten a sweet for
days.
12 days.
No, you had a crepe. We're going to talk about that.
Oh, well, yeah. That was healthy though.
That's not healthy.
So, yeah, I think I was just like, no, I had my own. But I only had like 3 or 4 bites and I was like, okay, I'm good. Like it was like felt like it was like super rich.
Did you share it with Eiley?
I gave it to her, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, it was good. I had a couple of bites of Latoya's a couple days before.
Good, man.
I had the M&M one, and there they have one with like caramel, and I didn't know this when I ordered it, but it had peanuts, and I'm not a peanut person, but it was actually pretty good.
Dude, get the Kit Kat.
Okay. The Kit Kat
McDonald's, if you're listening, do it.
Okay, all right. So the Notre-Dame was up next. What were your thoughts on seeing that finally? I know that was pretty special.
Best part of the entire trip.
Really?
Hands down.
I know you really wish you could have gone inside.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I knew that was like your top thing.
Low key, I am actually like a fan of the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Go Irish.
You mean like Quasimodo? It's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
So that was really just cool seeing, and the fact that it had burned down a couple years ago, and
it's like pretty much rebuilt.
You go there and you can't even tell.
No, you can't tell. They did an amazing job.
They did such a fantastic job.
Fun fact: where we stayed at for the wedding, our chateau, they gave resources to rebuild the Notre Dame. They had a whole sign there.
Oh, where
I
was
have video footage of it.
Oh.
I'll show you.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, so they like provided lumber and different resources to help rebuild. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I personally, I could have probably spent hours just at that place, just looking at it, reading the history about it. So if I were to go back to
Paris,
to Paris, that would definitely be on my priority list of things to check out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it is so beautiful. It's such a unique experience. Then we walked this.
It's wild when you're walking because sorry.
You're chatty tonight.
It's wild because you're just like walking, and all of a sudden it's just like there.
Yeah, in the middle of the city.
It's weird.
That's why Paris is so cool.
You think it would be like in this like
tucked away
in this like area, and it was like right, and you're just walking, bam, right
like in the
there.
middle of the Seine because it's like
Weird.
between the two canals.
Yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop.
It's very cool. And then we walked the Seine down to the Louvre, where we also did not go inside, but just got to kind of show you the massive nature of that museum and how gorgeous the architecture is. Really, the architecture of this entire area of the city is. I think my favorite part of the day, though, was honestly you and I getting to walk the Seine with B sleeping in the stroller and just kind of enjoying our time together, seeing the sights, and then finding that little smoothie shop, Papu, I think I'm saying that right, juice bar.
Papa Joe's.
And sitting, drinking a smoothie. And then you got your other favorite treat of the trip, which was a crepe. What flavor crepe did you get?
Strawberry banana with whipped cream. It was fantastic.
It was really good. I had an Oreo chocolate one. And
that sounds good right now, but it was so hot out. That's why I wanted a sweet one. I didn't want a savory one.
It was hot, but it was not as hot as I was about to get.
No.
It was in the 70s this day, and this was like heat of the day, like 5 o'clock or something, and it was pretty hot, but that was delicious.
That was great.
What were you expecting from a crepe? Was that kind of what you thought it was going to be?
I honestly don't know what I was expecting from one.
So were you not there in French class? Was this when you were like living in Chattanooga when we had them? Miss Bernie made them for us.
I just don't remember that at all.
Okay, so maybe you weren't there.
Yeah.
Because you took French too. You just came back like second half.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah, because she made them for us and she made us like the croque monsieur also.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay.
So my one-time experience with it was great.
Delicious. Yeah. I mean, I had a few crepes on the trip and they were all good. I like the like sugary crepe with a little bit of like butter on it. It was really good later in the trip. But yeah, these were excellent. Highly recommend Papu Juice Bar for some smoothies and crepes.
Papa Joe's.
Then we met up with Regan and Steph and did the Seine River cruise. Did you like that, or did you feel like it wasn't worth it because we just walked the Seine, or did you feel like it was cool to see the city from a different perspective?
I personally could have done without it.
Really?
Yeah, it was hard because you can't like. You can't really. I'm trying to listen to this thing, and you can't hear it because the boat's so loud. We had people next to us that were obsessed with the 6-7 thing.
Oh yeah!
Still.
Oh my god! I know 6-7 is dead. Please let it go.
So I could not and you're trying to crank the volume up on the thing to listen to the interpretation in English, and I couldn't hear any of it. So,
yeah, I didn't even try.
Yeah, like that part was kind of a bummer not being able to experience that. It was relaxing.
Yeah. And it was not expensive. It was 18 euros a person, which is not bad.
Yeah, it was very relaxing.
For an hour.
I mean, and I think it's this point. I was looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be a lot better than what it was, but I think if I could have heard the history of the city more,
would have been better.
I would have enjoyed it better. So bring your headphones.
Yeah, I thought it was really relaxing, really beautiful. My recommendation is to sit on the lower level because everybody jumps up to the top level, but the lower level, you're protected from the sun. You can hop out onto the railing, the like windows slide open so you can step out and take pictures and look and stand out there the whole time if you want to. It was a nice thing to do, and that was LaToya's suggestion. She was like, make sure that you sit on the bottom, and so that was well worth it for us. So what are your overall thoughts on the city itself of Paris?
Am I rating this or what am I doing?
Just like, did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Were you like, I would go back, I would never go back, we could have used more time, our time was good, like that kind of a thing?
I would go back.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of like other places, right? Like you almost need like a full week to really, I think like in the past when we traveled, we've done, and we talked about this, but I think we said it just wasn't very easy with kids. But like when we've gone to cities in the past, we've done like a bus tour, right? And then you're really able to see, okay, I want to spend a day in this little area, I want to spend a day in this other area. And so if I were to go back, I would probably design it like that, where it's,
how many days would you want
in
the city of Paris?
Like if I wasn't really going anywhere, like if Disneyland was in the picture, like I would probably spend 3 or 4 days there.
Okay. In the city itself.
In the city itself, yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot that we probably didn't even see.
Yeah, for sure.
That you could do.
Okay.
And it's very easily accessible too. Like it's really easy to get around, very walkable. It's not like it's
very walkable.
Not like it's in some places where, it's not super walkable and stuff like that.
More walkable than we thought with the stroller.
Yeah, it was very easy to manage. So.
Okay, cool. And was there anything else that you would have liked to do that we didn't get to do other than go like inside the Notre-Dame?
I don't know. I'm sure there's some history stuff. Like, well, there's that one place that what was that? The area where we were sitting looking at the Eiffel Tower. There was like that museum area right there. The 2 museums that were right there. I'm saying at the top of the hill.
Oh yeah,
Like I would have enjoyed doing more
museum
like
stuff.
Like museum.
Yeah,
kind of
we
stuff.
just didn't want to do that with the kids.
Yeah, so
at this age,
that's just me. Like I would have enjoyed seeing some stuff. I'm not like I don't like. I like the idea of going to the Louvre, but I don't know if I would enjoy that too much.
There's other museums that I think you would enjoy more.
I think seeing some stuff like that would be cool.
I feel like if we went back and we did have that much time, we could go to the Louvre though.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on the day and how old the kids are. But I at least convinced her going back when she turns 15. So buckle up.
Good to know.
Just so you are aware.
Good to know. Okay.
Okay, so now getting into the creme de la creme of the trip, Disneyland Paris. We took the same car service from our hotel to the Disneyland Hotel, and they were on time again and great. This time they offered for the kids to watch a movie while we drove, so the kids watched Encanto. It was only about like a 45-minute drive, but we arrived to our hotel around 9 a.m., and when we got there, the staff came out to take our bags. They put them all on a luggage cart, labeled them with our last name, how many total bags they had, and just be prepared for that. So when you get there, if you're going into the parks, because again, it's 9 a.m., so our room was not ready, of course, we had to make sure we had pre-organized at the hotel our park bag, our backpacks, like whatever we wanted to take with us, which we only ended up taking, I think, my backpack and our pink Disney park bag that we always take in. Everything else we sent to the room, and you will not get it back until your room is ready. So just be prepared for that. Once we got to the hotel, to get through the doors, you go through security, which I had kind of wondered how this worked because I kept hearing when you're at Disneyland Hotel, you're inside of security. It's the only hotel inside of security. And I was like, how does that work? And I don't know, like, do they go through all of our luggage?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Their security there is definitely not as tight as Disney World.
Yeah, definitely not.
But, I mean, it was security and it didn't feel unsafe or anything like that. It just wasn't as, like, at Disney World, like everything beeps, I swear. So anyways, it's just a little bit different, but yeah, you go through security to get into the hotel. Once you walk in the doors, it is a gorgeous hotel. The lobby is very grand. It feels very royal. We checked in and headed to our first royal gathering, which we set up beforehand. And I will talk about the details of this next week, but it's such a great perk that's free for staying at the resort. It's just a little bit difficult to find. The hotel is massive and not every floor connects. And so it was over in the direction of like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, Lumiere's restaurant, the pool, the kids club. All of that is kind of near where the royal gathering is. And we, after the royal gathering, headed to the park about 10 a.m. So there was a pretty good line to get in at this point because the park opened for regular guests at 9:30. It's a little bit of a later start. So not a great time to go in at 10. But what were your initial thoughts walking into the park?
I would just echo some of the same stuff. Like the hotel was really nice. I think I even made a comment saying, just don't tell me how much it costs to stay here.
Yes.
And she said, yeah, I won't tell you.
I haven't told you.
So if that indicates anything at all, it was very nice. Room was spacious. So I know I was saying how they weren't spacious in downtown Paris. This was extra spacious. So it was like the complete opposite.
Well, literally going from like the last room you stayed in was the Ariel room at Art of Animation, which is so small.
Oh yeah.
To this,
yeah.
It's like double that, maybe more than double.
That was wild how much room we had.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really nice. So I was very impressed by the hotel.
Okay. Do you feel like now if we were to go back to Disneyland Paris one day, you would want to stay there again because like nothing else would compare?
I mean, I definitely would be open and receptive to other things. I think, my mom and I are actually talking about this earlier today. I was just saying like the convenience was unreal.
You're literally looking over into the park.
Yeah, I mean the convenience of just walking to and for like, I guess I didn't really appreciate like how much work it takes like to get on at times. I sound lazy, but to like get after a long day, get the kids onto a bus
or the Skyliner,
and then get them back to the sky. Man,
you love the Skyliner. I know. I love the Skyliner too.
I love the Skyliner. So, like,
but even it takes time, and this is literally you just walk.
Yeah, I mean that yeah,
5 minutes.
So like, yeah, I mean the Skyliner is super super convenient for sure at Disney World. But like when you're at Disneyland, they don't have any of that, right? Like
no, you have to walk all the way back.
You're walking in,
which we've never stayed on property at Disneyland.
Which those were, I mean, when we were there, those were hikes.
Back to our hotel. Yeah, at the end of the night.
Those were hikes at the end of the day. So not having to do that was super convenient. I mean, like whatchamacallit, where Reek stayed,
the Marvel Hotel.
Like that wasn't like in the park itself, so like I would consider other things, right, like that. Yeah,
but they had to go through security every day, wait for security. They had to walk back, which it was like a 10-15 minute walk back every night.
Yeah, so I mean,
but you would be open to other things, but you loved the hotel.
Yeah, I mean the hotel was nice for sure.
Okay, I absolutely loved it. I don't think I could stay anywhere else. I'm spoiled now. It was amazing. So if we were to ever go back, I would definitely try to make that happen again. But it was expensive, so that's always
it was nice for sure.
Something to consider. But yeah, it was super nice. So we headed straight to Fantasyland, and this day we really kind of let the kids just choose what they wanted to do. I'll kind of get more into the details of this day with LaToya, but what did you think about our strategy to let each kid kind of pick a ride for this first day? Because we went in having absolutely no plan, which is very unlike me.
Well, it started off great because our first ride broke down.
Yeah.
So
the carousel.
So that was fantastic to start with.
Yeah.
What I was very surprised about was, and I've said this multiple times now, but like, this was the second or third ride we went on was Dumbo.
Yeah.
And the ride, you go on that and it's 50 minutes, and then you go on Haunted Mansion and it's 5 minutes.
I think we got lucky with Haunted Mansion or Phantom Manor, but
like still, like a lot of the rides that we went on were not even like the second day, right? You're going on the rides that you think are gonna be like the most popular rides, and they're like 30 minutes tops or 34 minutes. And you're like, okay, back home this is like an easy 60-minute kind of wait, like
yeah, that. It was interesting.
So that part was so to your question before, like obviously the kids are picking rides like that, right? So they're not going after like the big ones,
no,
per se.
But they picked Dumbo, the Teacups, Phantom Manor, and Big Thunder. Those were the 4 picks.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I thought having that first day after having been in Paris for the 2 days before was good to have like a lower key. I mean, I should say with you, there's not really a low key kind of day, but
that's about as low key as I get.
Yeah, that was low key for your standards.
I'm so get there at park open, stay till park closed, don't go back to the hotel. We're here all day, and that was not this trip at all.
Yeah, I think everyone was kind of just wiped. I mean,
we were tired.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably our first trip that we've taken where we didn't have like a pool day built in, just to kind of relax. So
we didn't have time.
I guess that was kind of like our day where it was on the chiller side.
Yeah. Yep. And
even with that though, it was still a busy day.
It was still a busy day. And when we went on Big Thunder, unfortunately, the first time was a little bit difficult because, well, number one, very exciting news. Blake was tall enough. So she was so happy. It was so cute. I got a little video of her, and the cast member was so sweet. And they did check her height every single time we went because I think they kept looking at her like, no way this kid is tall enough. But she's tall enough, and she was tall enough on her own. We did not do anything to make her taller or whatever like people do. She was tall enough. We wanted it to be safe, and she was. And she absolutely loved it.
She enjoyed it a lot.
It was so fun. She still talks about the Choo Choo, Big Thunder. She loves it. And it was so fun. But it was funny. The first time we went on, the wait said 60 minutes. And we were like, okay, fine. We're not going to pay for the pass. We're going to just do it. Well, it ended up being more like 80 minutes.
It was 90.
And considering, I mean, they did really good in line.
Yeah, they did fantastic.
We did bring Dum Dum suckers. Hot tip for parents if you're okay with your kids having Dum Dums. It takes time to eat, and so she had 1 or 2 in the line, and maybe
3 or 4.
I don't think it was 3 or 4. I think she had 2. And it helped her wait. She did not have any meltdowns. But the only thing is bring your water. Oh my gosh. So we're like going through line. She needed water. Her cup was empty. And I was like, there's a water fountain. And I go to press the button and it does not work.
Yeah, that was so bad.
That was so bad. It was so hot. So anyway, just, bring your water with you in the line. But thank God she didn't have to like go to the bathroom or something. She did not have a pull-up on.
Yeah.
So we got very lucky there. But what did you think about Big Thunder in general?
It's the best one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the best one of all the ones I've been on.
I'm glad you agree. I agree. And we had heard that, and I was like,
hands down, it's the best one.
It was so fun. It's so cool. Highly recommend. But I love Big Thunder. That's like one of my favorites of all time out of all the parks. It's just like such a good one. Always good for any age. Not too scary. And eventually all the kids did go on it, and everybody loved it. So it was so much fun.
That was great.
Then we went back to the hotel for a minute and did our second Royal Encounter. And after that, everybody was like, we need to chill. And I was like, no chilling. So we went back to the parks with London, my oldest niece, and my younger niece, Liv. She stayed, but our kids and Maddie and I and London went into the parks, and we did Pirates and It's a Small World before heading back to get dinner at Disney Village, which is undergoing major construction. I don't usually know how everything connects, but the Five Guys and the pizza pasta place were like outside of security, which I didn't think was always the case, but the sign is out there. I don't know. It was a little bit weird. So you had to go out of security to get to those 2 restaurants, but everything else was in security, and we didn't really see the rest of Disney Village until our departure day. So it was a little bit confusing, but we headed back into the park and did Pirates again. And then the girls did Pirates again with you. So it was like multiple Pirates times. They loved it for whatever reason. And then back to Big Thunder, which had come down a lot in wait time. It was only 30 minutes. And I don't think it even ended up being 30.
No.
Before heading over to the nighttime show. But what did you think about Pirates over there?
I think I like ours better.
Okay, and what did you think about Phantom Manor?
I like ours better.
Okay.
Well, I like Disneyland's the best.
Okay. See, mine is definitely, I love Phantom Manor. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. That's my favorite Haunted Mansion, then Disneyland, then Disney World. But I love them all. Like, they're so good.
Why do you like that the best?
I just thought it was so cool. It was like a little more spooky. It was like kind of what I think Haunted Mansion should be. Like spookier. I don't know. It was just unique. And maybe it's just like something new, but I really liked it. Pirates I thought was like just as good. I love our Pirates. I love Disneyland's Pirates. I don't know. I just love Pirates, which is funny.
I think our Pirates was there was a lot more to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. Disneyland's Pirates is longer than ours.
I don't know.
So you like Disney World's the best?
I don't know. I like somewhere in America is better.
The queue, I know we get them all mixed up because we've been to them pretty close together recently. The queue of this one was really cool though. It's like you were walking into like the fort, almost like ours, but even more a little detailed.
I don't remember.
It was dark though. It was pretty dark.
I don't remember the queue at all.
Okay. Then.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah.
It was cool.
This one was cooler. Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah, the queue was cool.
The nighttime show, we ended up doing the like premiere access spot for what, and you did not love the nighttime show. What do you think would have made it better?
Fireworks that were fireworks.
Yeah, there weren't as many. And we got lucky actually because the week after we were there, spoiler alert, it got to be 104 degrees and they canceled anything with fireworks. A lot of the rides were closed. So what we got to see is their usual show without the drones for that show because they're using the drones at Adventure World, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what show is your favorite nighttime show at Disney? Fantasmic?
Probably Fantasmic, yeah.
Oh, it's the best. Okay. Yeah. It's not Fantasmic good. It's not Happily Ever After good, but it was cute. It's not like I would die without seeing that show, but I liked it. So the next day I let you sleep in, I took Eiley to rope drop Disney Adventure World. Originally, we had planned to rope drop Disneyland again to get on Big Thunder and Space and do photos at the castle, but everyone wanted to sleep in and LaToya's girls were exhausted. So I woke Eiley up and we went over to Disney Adventure World about 7:40. We left the hotel, got there about 5 minutes later, and there were maybe only 2 other families there because security doesn't open until 8. So everybody else was lined up behind security. So another perk of being in the bubble there. We decided to do Crush's coaster this morning, and I was a little nervous to take Eiley on it without ever having been on it myself, but I was like, girl, we're just going to go for it. This is the time. We did not wait at all, but by the time we got off our one ride on Crush's, it said 80 minutes. Which is crazy. That coaster is like super popular. And you ended up doing that the next day, but what were your thoughts on Crush's coaster?
I was surprisingly very happy with it.
Yeah, because you did not want to go on it.
Well, I was like we were in the debacle of
time
to get the car.
Our last day,
you were freaking out.
I was freaking out.
I was like, let's just skip it. But I'm very glad that I ended up going on it. It's like a mini
Guardians mixed with Space Mountain is what I would call it.
It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. See, I thought the opposite. I like hyped it up in my mind and I thought it was fine, but it's like super dark and not much to look at.
I enjoyed it a lot.
But it was fun, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that cool. I loved Big Thunder way more.
No.
You like that better than Big Thunder?
I don't know. They're probably comparable.
Okay. I love Big Thunder. So when we rope dropped though, I realized everyone sprints here. Like, I don't mean a light little walk that you're walking real fast or like a light little jog. I mean like literally take off sprinting. And I have videos of it for the vlog that will come out not this Friday, but next Friday. But yeah, it was wild. So that's something to consider is that people literally take off sprinting mostly to get to Crush's and or Arendelle. Those are like the 2 things that people really run to for rope drop. And then Eiley and I went to do Remy's because we wanted to take advantage of that true extra magic hour. Like it is a full hour here at this park. So just keep that in mind. It is, not just the 30 minutes, the dinky 30 minutes we get at Disney World or Disneyland anymore. And it has been a long time since I got evacuated off of a ride, but we got evacuated off of Remy's. We were in the second room. It stopped. The video repeated a couple of times, and then all the lights came on, and it was so weird seeing that ride with all the lights on. I did get some video footage. They didn't tell me to put away my phone, so I did it, and it was super interesting. I have not gotten actually evacuated off a ride, like not just stuck, but like got off since we got stuck on the People Mover when Eiley was like Blake's age.
That's wild.
And so it was very wild. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things that like true Disney nerds are like, I want to get evacuated because it's just like such a unique thing to get to walk behind stage. So that was really cool. And then we did web slingers, and Eiley actually did really well on web slingers. But then she was like, I'm hungry. I need a donut. So we got a donut at the little stand inside the entrance of Disney Adventure World, the interior part. And the donuts were straight trash, dude. Like, not good at all. The things at the boulangerie that we got in Paris were amazing. And so this was just like, blech, in comparison. It tasted like absolutely nothing. And when we were in line, or I guess doing this, we got a virtual queue to meet Mickey because that's what Eiley really wanted to do. So we went back over to Disneyland after doing some shopping because it said like 40 minutes approximately until your turn. So we did some shopping, went all the way back into the back of the park to Fantasyland to meet Mickey. And it was cute. Eiley loves to do things like that, and she loved meeting Mickey. The pictures inside, whenever we get interior pictures with characters, are always trash of me. I do not like it. So there was no natural light. I just look old and tired and don't like it. But the ones of Eiley are super cute. And I just I'm glad that we got to do that for her, or that I got to do that with her. And then you guys were ready to meet up with us at this point. So we attempted to do pictures of the kids in their adorable home team kids outfits, but Blake was not having it like at all. I think we literally took 100 pictures, not even being dramatic, and she smiled in like 2 of them. She was just angry, was not into it. And then we did the little dragon thing. What did you think of that?
That was cool.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
I think people hyped that up too, and I was like, it was cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool that it's there, because I feel like otherwise it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
And then we did the little stained glass walkthrough with the girls. We lined up for the parade at about 11. It started at 11:30. And I know you're not a very big parade guy. Did you think anything of the parade?
Not much.
I loved it.
The only parade I think that I really like is the Halloween.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the best.
Halloween one.
I think you would like nighttime parades.
That one's awesome.
Well, I guess we saw the one at...
Yeah, we saw the one when the girls were
I know,
asleep.
Disneyland. Yeah, and everyone loves that one, Paint the Night.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah. This one was great because it was long, but I'll talk more about it next week with LaToya just for time's sake. So Regan and Steph showed up at this point over in Disneyland because they had stayed in Paris the night before, and we hung out with them for a while. We did Hyperspace Mountain. Why don't you share with the class about your Hyperspace Mountain experience?
Yeah, it was a fun ride, but that might be the tightest constraints I've ever had on a roller coaster. And I'm not one to kind of, panic of how tight things were, but I was a little nervous that it was going to crush my chest. It was that tight.
It was weird because it went like over your head, but then also across your chest.
Yeah,
it was so tight.
It was way too tight.
You even said to the guy, like, dude, this is too tight.
I was like, it's too tight. And he proceeded to loosen it and then push it right back to where it was at.
Yeah. We also got front row.
Oh, front row, yeah. I was like, what?
We were like, great, we've never been on this before.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't ride that ride again just because of how tight the constraints were.
The restraints, yeah.
Yeah.
They were tight.
I did not like that.
No, it was definitely very tight. Then we walked over to Adventure World, and it was popping at this time. And we saw all of the construction on our way over to Arendelle for the Lion King and the Up attractions. We just kind of made a loop around the bay and headed back over to do Iron Man Flight Force, which is the overlay of Rock and Roller Coaster. What were your thoughts on this one?
Fun ride. I am still, and I don't think anything's ever going to beat Aerosmith.
Which is so funny. People like hated it, but I loved it.
Absolutely.
We were big fans.
I was a huge fan of it in retrospect. I'm a Marvel guy, so it was cool to see, but in my opinion, it's not as good as
Rock and Roller
Coaster with Aerosmith.
And this had a very short wait too.
Yeah.
Like we waited like 5 minutes.
But didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did rider swap.
We did rider
but
swap,
Regan and Steph only waited like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't make sense at all.
It was not very long at all. And this is where we did rider swap for the second time, because I guess we did it for Space Mountain. But some of the attractions at the exit, they give you the little Premier One pass ticket, and you have to take that back to Premier One. Sometimes they give you a password. Like literally, they were like, just tell them Groot. And that's all we had to do. So, like, I guess people just, like, don't take advantage of it, which we did not. We were rule followers. We did not take advantage of it. Yeah. But it was just a little weird, like, that's all you have to do. And, I don't know. It was super interesting. Fair. But then we got dinner at the Italian place in Disney Village before we headed back to Disneyland. We did Indiana Jones, where Regan pulled a little prank on us. And he was like, it was so awesome. The best coaster ever. And then we went on it. And we're like, I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Your favorite ride at Disneyland is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So this was not as good as that.
No.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
It was like a good little coaster, like very short, very bumpy. It whips you around. Yeah. But nothing crazy. We spent some time over there at the little playground in like the pirate ship area, which was cute for the kids. There were a lot of bugs over there for whatever reason that night. It was towards the end of the evening. And then we split ways and decided to go back over to Adventure World we did Big Thunder again.
Did we?
Yeah, we did Big Thunder again because we told Eiley we're either doing it tonight or tomorrow. We're only doing it one more time. So we did it that night, just the 4 of us. They loved it, as usual. Best ride. Eiley cried because she wanted to go back on it again. And we were like, girl, we don't have time. So we did the premier access spot for the Disney Adventure World show. Do you think it was worth it to get that premier access spot?
Versus
getting there an hour early and waiting for a spot for the show.
It's convenient.
It is convenient.
Did we pay for it?
Yeah.
Oh. I probably wouldn't pay for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but you liked this show better.
Definitely.
What did you like about it?
The drones.
There were drones, and what else was in the show that you loved that they included? Avengers, my man.
Oh, yeah, Avengers.
Yeah, okay, he's struggling. It's late at night. We're almost done recording here.
I'm sorry, my eyes are getting heavy now.
Okay, so yeah, the Avengers sequence in the show, you were like, this is so cool.
That was really cool.
The drones were really cool. We've never seen a drone show like that before. It was very cool. I don't know that I liked it better than the other show, but you did.
I did, significantly.
And there was fire. There was a little bit of fireworks, but not much. Then mostly drones and music and water projections. But it was cool. I think the premier access spot was worth it because we got a pretty good spot and it was very easy to just like chill there until the show started. Then our final day, so we went back to the hotel, went to sleep. Our final day, I took the girls to Frozen to Arendelle to rope drop. You stayed and slept for a little while and like kind of chilled in the morning. We got all the way to, we were first people at rope drop, to nobody's surprise. Same thing, about 7:45 in the morning. And we went straight to Arendelle. That is a hike. It is a long walk. We had the stroller, and Eiley was riding on the little wiggle board. Blake was in the stroller, which the wiggle board was a great purchase, by the way. I'm so glad we had that. The kids used it a lot. We got all the way back to Arendelle, and we get in line for Frozen Ever After, and Blake was like in a mood again this morning, was not having it, but wanted to come, didn't want to stay with Daddy, but just like, yeah. And the ride was not working. So that ensued meltdown galore for Blake. This was a very bad day of meltdowns for her, morning of meltdowns for her. And she was just like so upset and just kept crying and saying she wanted an Elsa toy. And I was like, nope, you already picked your toy yesterday. We already spent our gift card from Omo. We are not picking another toy. And she was just like, Elsa toy, Elsa toy. So I called Maddie and I'm like, SOS, please come. So he met us there. And by the time he came, the ride had come up. I took the girls on it and I had gotten a virtual queue for Anna and Elsa, which they do a virtual queue for it at 8:45. You have to be inside of the park to get into that queue. And it was like a 5-minute wait. So we got to meet Anna and Elsa. Maddie joined us for that. That was cute.
Yep.
Getting to do that with the girls. It's like inside their castle. The whole Arendelle area is very adorable. I just wish that they had the coaster like they do in Hong Kong, because I just feel like there's not enough there, which we'll talk about in a minute. Is kind of like the theme of Disney Adventure World. But it was cute. Then we did the Rapunzel little spinner ride, which we ended up paying for a premier access pass for because it jumped up to like a 30-minute wait. And I think it was like €4 a person. It was very inexpensive. That was cute. I liked it better than Alien Swirling Saucers.
Yeah, they're comparable.
Okay. It wasn't as rough. It was adorable. The girls liked it, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this ride is so cool. Like, it was fine. Then by then, it was time for our breakfast reservation. So we did that. And what did you think about the Regal View? We did the Regal View Princess Breakfast.
It was good. Surprisingly good.
Yeah. This is something that you weren't sure it was going to be worth the money.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, albeit the food proportions were very small.
Very small.
Very small.
And it was single entree. It wasn't a buffet.
Like made for like a 2-year-old. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, your omelet was really small.
It's like, I can fit this in the palm of my hand.
And I got like one singular pancake.
Yeah, that part was whatever. But the experience overall was good.
The inside of the restaurant was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The views were really cool. The characters were great.
Were great.
We ended up seeing Belle, Merida, Aurora, and Ariel. But Blake was so funny. Like, for whatever reason, she was hooked on Merida, and we saw her last. And every character that came over, she's like, I get to meet Merida. And Maddie's like, okay, stop telling everyone you get to meet Merida. But they gave you, like, your choice of juice, apple or orange. They also had hot chocolate. They had coffee. They had tea. Eiley had the hot chocolate. She said it was delicious. And then you get an entree, and you basically get savory or sweet, right? Yeah. And so you get to pick, and very small portions, but it was good. It is like pricey, similar to like how it was at Topolino's. Like, it's pricey. It's an experience. It's something really cool. But that one, I would go back to. Topolino's, I don't know that I'd go back to. But would you agree with that? You'd go back potentially. But it isn't buffet, so that is the thing. But it was beautiful. It was a very beautiful restaurant. I'm glad we did it. By then, Regan and Steph met up with us, and we did Tower of Terror. What were your thoughts on their Tower of Terror?
It was creepy.
It was so much creepier. The little girl.
Yeah, it was creepy.
She's like, come with me. He, 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 he.
Yeah, it was.
And then she'd like say it in French and just like disappear.
Yeah, it was weird.
But it was fun.
It was fun.
We got to go together because Regan and Steph watched the kids. And then I took the kids to the Pixar Together show while you like chilled for a little bit.
Yeah.
Used the kids' toilet. And TMI. And we went, the Pixar Together show is the only sit down show we did the whole trip, because Festival of the Lion King we missed the day before, or that's not what it's called, but their Lion King show that's in Disneyland we missed the day before. And Mickey and the Magician was the other one I really wanted to see. It was closed for refurbishment the day that we were there. And the Anna and Elsa show was closed. So, it was like a little bit of a bummer with the shows, but the Pixar Together show was really cute. It was in English and French. We're still listening to the song in the car, the Together song, in the car most days when I'm with the kids. They really enjoyed it. They had all kinds of Pixar characters. They did Coco, they did Up, they did Toy Story. So it was really nice to have like lots of characters that they were familiar with. And you cannot record or take any pictures in the shows. They're very strict about that. They're very strict about taking pictures on the rides and having your phone out, much more so than the US parks. So that was a little bit of a bummer that I couldn't capture any of it. But Everly, I had baby Everly with me, and she actually fell asleep on me during the show. So it was kind of nice to just like chill in this air-conditioned show, because it was air-conditioned. It was great. And it was about 30 minutes. So they really enjoyed that. And then after that is when Regan and Steph, they did both Tower of Terror and Crush's Coaster back to back while I had the kids in the show. We met back up with Maddie. He did Crush's Coaster. We walked to Disney Village to get some lunch. And then I went to get the car rental. Let me tell you. So we did a car rental through Sixt. And Avis and Sixt both have a spot in the train station parking garage right outside of the parks. It is very close walk from Disneyland to get to this car rental place. And Regan and my mom both had a very easy experience of, they text you a number, you put it in their little box. There's not a person there. You put in your number, it drops your key, you go to the spot it tells you, you drive away. Well, the day before, I had gotten a confirmation from Sixt saying your car is ready, and it was a smaller car than what we had paid for. So I called them and I'm like, yo, you said we were going to get a Skoda. We need a bigger car because we have a lot of people and luggage and we need this car. So they were like, okay, we'll put a note on it. Well, apparently that messed everything up. And so I get to the box and Regan was behind me, but like probably by about 10 minutes. I'm walking through this garage. There's no service desk. There's no one to talk to. I'm trying to call the help desk. I'm like almost in tears because I was panicking about getting to this welcome dinner on time. And it wasn't working. And this random man, Regan, shows up, thank God. And he's like talking me through. He's like, I'm not going to leave you here in this parking garage. We're going to figure this out. And talked me off the ledge. I literally was almost crying. So he made me calm down. And this random man shows up out of thin air. And he's like, parlez français? And I was like, no. And so he like calls someone. I talk to them in English. They talk to him in French. And he's like, follow me. Brings me up to the car. He's like, here's the keys. You're good to go. It was the most sketchy thing ever. Thank God I didn't get murdered, but Regan was there with me and it worked and it was great. And we had no problems, returning the car or doing anything else the end of the trip. But it was definitely an experience. But everything else went smoothly. And Regan was like, well, if you didn't put in the special request, your keys would have been there. It would have been fine. So it was very easy. And literally pulling out of the parking garage, you go hard left and you're at the Disneyland Hotel. So that was very convenient. How was it for you when you got back to the hotel? You just told them like, we're ready to go and they got our stuff for us? Because they came to get all of our stuff from the room, right?
Yeah, it was smooth sailing.
Very easy.
Very easy.
So you just called before you left to come to Disney Adventure World and said, all our stuff is ready to go?
I went down the front desk and told them.
Okay.
That was it.
And they came up and got it, and it was ready when I had the car, and they helped us load the car. It was great. Mm-hmm. So very convenient. We were very sad for this part of the trip to be over, and we're not going to get too much into that next part of the trip highlights of the next part of the trip. Say it in 2 sentences.
Hot.
Oh, 1 word.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 95 degrees in a house with no air conditioning with 30 people, half of them who were Dutch because that's who my mom was marrying, someone who is Dutch. And it was an experience. That's what I would say, right?
It was hot.
It was hot, and as your mom says, it was an experience.
It was an experience.
So, yeah, we made it through the wedding. I'll talk a little bit more about that next week with LaToya. What did you think about being in a tiny town in France compared to the city?
Yeah, she's not used to it. So, I'm more of a city guy.
When we travel.
Yeah. So, I'm more of a city guy. So, that's what I'll say.
Okay. And then we'll talk, we're going to do a bonus Patreon episode. If it's not out already, it will be soon on Toy Story 5. My dad and I are going to do it because he actually saw, did I tell you this? He saw Toy Story 5 and he loved it. So we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Maddie and I had a little bit of a different opinion. I did not hate it. I liked it a lot better than the 4th one. Let me tell you that right now. But I just think it was nowhere near as good as the 2nd, but dad actually thought it was.
Yeah, no.
Which is wild for him to say that. So we're going to get into it on the Patreon episode. I have not recorded it at the time of recording this episode, but it probably will be out around the same time or shortly after this episode, depending on how fast I can edit it because we're recording it in a couple days. But yeah, so our movie theater experience in Paris was a story that I will tell with LaToya, but it was quite interesting.
That was quite interesting.
And our flight back, other than having the layover, was very smooth. And we got home. And we were happy for 2 things back in the USA?
Air conditioning and ice.
Air conditioning and ice. They don't believe in ice cubes in France.
Yeah, no.
Anyways. Okay, well, that is all for this week. But thank you guys so much for listening. And be ready for part 2, where we're going to get a little bit more into some of the details that I did not get into today, as well as a little bit more of the second half of our trip. But that is all for now. We will see you guys next week. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Soarin' Around WDW Pod, where we share fun reels, throwback photos, and dive into weekly polls and debates. If you're listening on Spotify, be sure to follow and hit that 5-star button. If you are over on YouTube, subscribe and leave us a comment as well. If you're listening on Apple, a 5-star rating and a written review would mean the world. You can also now support the show through our Patreon at patreon.com/Soarin'AroundWDW podcast by becoming a free or paid member and finding exclusive content and bonus episodes and videos there too. Thanks again for joining us. Catch you on the next flight.